Okay, hi everyone. So today I'm talking about the Chevening Scholarship. Most of you are already aware that applications are already open this year for Chevening applications. And if you don't know, this is one of the most prestigious scholarships in the world, right? So what I've noticed is that there are a couple of changes to the application this year, and that's especially around the essays, which is always the backbone of the Chevening application. So what I've decided to do, because I realized that maybe some people that are already aware of the essay questions from the past will be like, maybe you're delaying because you think, or maybe you're already answering the questions, right, that you already have prior to now, and you don't know that there's been some changes. So that's why this video is important for you if you're applying for Chevening in 2025, right? So just get right into it. So what are Chevening scholarships? If you are new to Chevening scholarships and you don't know what these things are about, Chevening scholarships are the enable outstanding leaders. So I just took this slide from the website. The Chevening website is very rich. So if you're an applicant, you must live on that website. So I just took this slide from one of the blogs there. It says the Chevening scholarships enable outstanding leaders from all over the world to pursue 1 year master's degrees in the UK. So if you have a passion and influence to solve global pressing national challenges, strongly recommend that you apply. So Chevening is big on leadership, it's big on networking, it's big on impact, right? And it's also big on you returning that value to your own country. So what you would notice is that Chevening applicants are asked to accept that they would return to their countries for a space of 2 years after completing their studies in the UK. So if you know that you're a leader, if you know that you have clear cut out career plans, then this scholarship is for you. You would have full funding, you would have living support stipends to be able to pursue your desired master's degree to enable you, right, to so that you're better prepared to solve those global challenges and those national challenges. Because what the world needs is problem solvers, and Chevening is looking for problem solvers, right? So, what are the eligibility criteria? So, you want to know if you're eligible for this prestigious scholarship. So, first thing is that you have to be from a Chevening eligible country or territory. So, if you check on the website, you would see whether your country is eligible. Nigeria is eligible. So, if you're Nigerian, Chevening scholarship is something for you to look out for. And then the second thing is that you would commit to returning to your country for at least 2 years after your study ends, right? And also you have to have 2,800 hours of work experience post your undergraduate degree, right? So that's roughly 2 years. I think there's also a guide on how to calculate your hours of work experience, but typically people work 40 hours weekly. That's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You can use that as a guide to know if you're eligible on that count. And also you have to hold a valid recognizable undergraduate degree for you to be eligible to apply to any UK course. And then you have to apply to three. So not all courses, like I already mentioned, Chevening is big on impact. So the courses and the universities that they've partnered with are the universities that they recognize that these courses would help prepare better world leaders. So you have to look at the website to know if your course is one of those eligible courses and you need three unconditional offers or at least one, right, from these guys, right? And also you need referees. You need two referees to be able to apply for this. So that's something else to prepare for. So just go to my next slide here. What you typically need to qualify and receive this award is that obviously you have to pass the eligibility criteria, like we just looked at it, and then you have to choose three related courses, please. But you need to know that you're a focused individual. You can't be choosing, maybe choose agri-care and the next thing you're choosing finance. You have to show them that these things are connected and that you're not just winging it. You're not just seeing if somebody's going to take a chance in you. I mean, if Jimmy is going to take a chance in you, better worth that chance. And then you're going to write three the essay questions, you prepare them. I mean, you have from now till October to make sure that all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. And then you have to have two referees that know that they are referring you, so that not when the maybe past the first um stages of elimination and it's time for you to receive references and they're like, no, I didn't know this person put down my name. So you have to do that legwork. And also you have to fill out the application on the website. Yeah. Then you pass your interview at the British High Commission in your country. In Nigeria, you have two places in Lagos and Abuja. Then, of course, you receive the Chevening Award and you're ready for your studies. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, or the major reason why I'm doing this video, is to show you the things that have changed. Because typically before now, you would write 500-word essays for Chevening applications, and then everybody already knew. If you're around the Chevening circle, you probably already know the questions by heart, even if you've never applied or you've been rejected a couple of times. So now the leadership essay, it used to be Chevening is looking for individuals who would be future leaders in their home countries, explain how you meet these requirements using clear examples of your own leadership and influencing skills in 500 words. Now, it doesn't mean that Chevening is no longer looking for leaders. However, there's been an update. And personally, I think it helps you. When you're writing these essays, it's recommended that you use the STAR approach. And I think that this new format of the questions make you use it, even if you don't know how to write. But it's always important to learn how to write these essays and to center it around the themes that Chevening is known for. So now the question says, describe a time. So it's telling you, because usually people would say, give us like three examples, but now it seems Chevening is saying, focus on one. I just want to hear one and I want to know everything about it, right? So describe a time where you demonstrated leadership, and in your answer, please address the following. So you have to tell them the context of the challenge where you demonstrated leadership. And then you have to tell them what specific actions you took. So usually you would see that in the start approach, people will tell you to explain the situation, which is like this, explain the context, and then you go out to the T is the task. So you tell us those actions that you took, or the task, which is the job to do, right? And the A is the actions, the steps you took, like that. So the R is your results, and then if you are interested in writing, you know that the star, sometimes the star is spelled with an extra R, which is resolution, like what did it do, how did it impact you, how did it change you. So this updated question format, make sure you follows that. So you're telling us the outcomes that came out of it, which is the result, and you're also telling us how it shaped your approach to leadership. Now, worthy of note is that the word count has dropped from 500 to 300. So it's still a minimum of 100. I don't know why you'll be writing 100 words, but that's the minimum. And the maximum is 300 words for this application cycle. Maybe they keep it up next year as well. Hey, so the next essay question is traditionally known as the networking essay, right? But before, used to be that Chevening is looking for individuals with strong professional relationship building skills who will engage with the Chevening community and influence and lead others in their chosen profession. Please explain how you will build and maintain relationships in the professional capacity using clear examples of how you currently do this and hope to do this in future. So usually people would put three examples of how they've done this. And if you've been good, you've been following this star approach all this while. So it's 500 words. Now the question says, tell us about A. So again, it's asking for just one now. A professional relationship that you built and maintained. And then in your answer, address how this relationship was formed, what made it important, and what you contributed to this relationship. What did you gain? How have you sustained it or developed it over time? And how will these skills help you? So I think that these updated questions just want a lot of you to come on board, be honest, because it's if you follow the question structure, if you follow what it asks you to address, then you'll be answering, you won't be wasting your time, because what happens is that most people just tell a lot of irrelevant stories, and sometimes you even try to cook up lies because you think that's what they want to hear. They want to hear what something, because they're trying to get you to be specific. Yes, use the skills of storytelling because you have to get attention, right, and keep attention, right. But make sure that you're not there's no a lot of ambiguity, and people are not seeing that you're focused, right, in your essays. So that's what this new structure would help you. So if you've not started your essays, I implore you to start writing so that you can have enough time to refine, get somebody to also review your essays, and then we'll be seeing your post very soon. Yeah. So the next thing that university essays, right? So typically you would write about your three university essays. Sorry, three university choices, right? You usually tell them why you've chosen your first, second, and third. People would advise you to talk about the modules in those different schools, and you have to make sure that those are related. I think I already said that in the beginning of the video. Now, Chevening asks for one. So I feel like they're trying to save a lot of time. Maybe the review committee, I don't know. But I also think that the structure is much better, much better. I mean, they still gave the same amount of time, and they've reduced the word count. So I see no reason why people shouldn't get in. So you explain your first choice. So they just want to hear about the first choice now and university. And then you have to state your answers in relation to the UK priority areas for Chevening. So Chevening has priority areas. There's climate change, there's global prosperity, there's security, right? There's inclusive growth also, right? I think I'll talk about that later. So while you were answering your university questions, I say they want you to be specific. So you want to go for which course? What area does it address of this for? So you can't just, I mean, anybody can go and get a master's, but they're trying to invest in future leaders that will be part of shaping the future. So you have to tell them. Then how would your chosen course equip you to address this theme that you've chosen? So choose one, focus on it, explore it, research on it, and tie it back to the course that you're about to do in the UK. And then tell us why you've selected your university. Typically, people will talk about the rankings, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, your research. And then how would you apply this knowledge? So now you've graduated, you have to tell us how you're going to apply it. And it's supposed to be related to how you would solve it in your own specific context, i.e., your country, your region. Okay. So finally, the last one is the career plan. So now it used to be that they're looking for people that have a clear cutout postgraduate career plan. So people advise you to do a short term, medium term, long term. But I see that the changes has been that you do medium term and long term and sort of explain it more for them. So you're also tying it back to the key challenge that you want to solve, right? And the change that you intend to make. So you don't just tell them, oh, when I return, I want to do when I get this job at this company and all, you have to tie it back to okay, if you're in that company, if you're in that place, if you're starting that business, if you're starting that NGO, how is it going to solve? So they want people that thought about this thing, right? As always, I mean, they want people that have thought about these things and the impact they're going to make, the level of impact that they're going to bring in with this additional feather or with the additional training that this award is going to help you get. And also, you have to talk about the obstacles that you might face in this career path. Because I mean, every day is not a walk in the park. You can have very lofty ideas. There are challenges definitely to solve some problems, and it is obviously going to be specific to your country, to your region, and you talk about those challenges and how you intend to overcome them. Now, do not limit yourself really, because I'm sure that they just talk about it with your level of understanding for now. I mean, deep research, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that the Chevening understands that after the award, you would have gained greater insights, which is why you're going for the award in the first place, and you would be better poised to solve those challenges. And then We'll tell them how becoming this Chevening scholar would help you achieve those ambitions. So that's now the structure. So it helps you now. So 300 words also. So this is the last essay on the yes, on the Chevening app. So I'm just going to with my final slide. Right. So finally, before I close this, you have to be mindful of the application timeline. I hope I'm correct. I think it closes on the 7th of October 2025 for this year. And then you have to make sure that your application is themed around these priority areas, namely promoting growth and prosperity, building resilience in a climate vulnerable world, strengthening security and stability in a volatile world, supporting development for inclusive and effective societies. And the last point I'll close with is that you have to literally live on the Chevening website. There's a lot of information there. There's a lot. The alumni body has done a lot. And I mean, one thing you would notice about Chevening scholars is that most of them already have channels on YouTube where they talk about the experiences. So, I mean, consume as much knowledge, but keep your eyes on the price. And congratulations.